Hi everybody, it's Nick here with Nick Tolman Music, and today we're going to go ahead and continue our beginner guitar lessons series using the Mel Bay Modern Method Grade 1. If you haven't seen the previous lessons, please tune in from the beginning, or if you're kind of at a further along point, feel free to jump in here. If you haven't already purchased the Mel Bay Guitar Method book, please do so. I'll include the link in the description below. Also, if you haven't yet tuned your guitar for the day, please get your guitar tuned. It's important to make sure you just tune that every time you play it. That way you're always making a beautiful sound. Today we're going to be looking at page 11 in the book. Page 11, we're going to learn two new notes. We're going to learn G and A. Both of these notes will be found on the third string. So far we've learned 6 notes on the first and second string. Today we're going to learn 2 more. G is going to be our open note, and just as a reminder, I'm sure you have it figured out by now, but open just means that there's going to be no fingers used on the left hand. It's just going to be open string. Okay, open third string, G sounds like this. Right? Refer to the book. It shows you exactly where G is on the staff. It's on the second line of the staff. And then also it shows you right where it's at on the guitar. Third string, open, G. Okay? Now, the next note that we're going to learn is A. The unique thing about A is it's the first note, at least in this book, that we have learned using our second finger, right? Our middle finger on the left hand. We've used our first finger, we've used our third finger, but we haven't yet used the second. So A is going to be the second finger on the third string or the G string. Second finger on the third string is going to be A. That's what it sounds like. As you refer to the book, you'll notice that A is found on the second space on the staff. Okay, second space on the staff. That's always where A will be. As we look at this first study, again, starting out, we're just going to drill those 2 notes. And you'll notice that the book's starting to move a little bit faster. Before it gave you like a whole page of exercises on a new string. This one's only going to give you 1 exercise. Okay, so this is the only exercise that you get with notes just on that string. Okay, so a study on the third string. I'm going to set my metronome to 72 as a good starting point. We've got whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes in here, so make sure that we are holding those notes out for the proper length. If you haven't seen my video yet on explaining the different types of notes, please check it out. I'll put the link above. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Half note, half note, half note, half note. 2, 3, 4. That's what it sounds like at 72. Making a good sound, making sure the notes are connected, there's no dead space in between notes, and making sure that we're putting our fingers in the right place up here and using adequate pressure to get a good sound and no dead or buzzing sounds, okay? Let's hear what it sounds like at 120. One, two, 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. Half note, half note, half note, half note. 2, 3, 4, off. So that's your 1 exercise. Take as much time as you need to on that 1 exercise to drill those 2 notes, but we're going to go ahead and add those to our other 6 notes that we have previously learned and start diving right in. So this next exercise on page 11 is going to utilize notes on all 3 of the strings that we have learned so far. It might be a little tricky just starting out, and that's okay. Take your time. We're gonna start with our metronome. Actually, I might start a little slower today on this one just because it's our first one adding all 3 strings. So I'm gonna go ahead and start at 60 on the metronome. We're gonna go nice and slow. And this still may be even a little too fast, so you may need to go slower. That's okay. All right, so here we go. The second exercise, Sparkling Stella, metronome at 60. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. So you probably recognize that melody. It's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, or A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? We're going to go ahead and speed up the metronome. So this is 120. This is nice and fast, and but maybe a good goal tempo for you to work your way up to. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and... Alright, some things to note and just to kind of be watching out for. At this point in the guitar, this is kind of where people start to realize, like, oh, I'm having some trouble switching between the strings and not like hitting other strings and doing things like that. And they're like, how do I do it and not hit the wrong string or move to where I need to be? And really the answer is you just need to start slow, right? It's about developing muscle memory as to where the string is, right? So I can do that without looking because I've developed muscle memory, and I've done that so many times that it kind of becomes habit, okay? So take your time, start really slow. Starting out, you might have to like practice it a couple times looking just at your right hand and then maybe just at your left hand, and then practice without looking at your hands at all, and eventually just try to kind of build that muscle memory. There's really no quick answer. The answer is just take your time, start slow, and be mathematical about it. You know, if you started at 60 on the metronome, you can play that perfectly. Good. Let's move up to 62, 64, 66, or you know, maybe you take bigger chunks. Maybe you move from 60 to 66, and then you know, and move your way up that way up to 72, and then 78. Whatever works for you, but just take it in that kind of incremental process, and you'll find success. And just keep at it. You're gonna get it, and you'll do great. So thank you for tuning in for today's lesson. Please subscribe and stay tuned for our next lesson.